Dodgers Nation. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel where we break down everything blue and white and celebrate what could easily be called one of the greatest eras in Dodgers history. If you're tuning in right now, you already know this isn't just another baseball team we're talking about. This is a movement, a legacy, something that's rewriting what dominance looks like in Major League Baseball. The Los Angeles Dodgers have gone from being consistent contenders to a full-blown dynasty. And the numbers, the records, and the performances speak louder than anything else. We've reached the point where it's no longer about asking if the Dodgers are great, but how great can they become? Think about what we've seen over the past decade and a half. Year after year, this team finds itself in October, not by luck, not by chance, but because the organization has built something that lasts. 13 playoff appearances in the last 14 seasons, 12 division titles in the last 13 years, and 5 trips to the World Series since 2015. They brought home 3 championships during that stretch, and that's not even counting how close they came in other seasons. Every time people doubt them, every time a tough stretch hits, the Dodgers come roaring back with a reminder of why they're built differently. And now, with back-to-back titles under their belt for the first time in 25 years, there's no more debating. This is a dynasty that's not just alive, but thriving. For years, people would bring up that shortened season in 2020 as if it didn't count, as if the Dodgers' run was some sort of fluke. But when you stack that championship next to the ones in 2024 and 2025, that narrative falls apart completely. You see the consistency, the structure, the mentality, and it becomes clear that the Dodgers were never a one-season wonder. That 2020 run was the beginning of a stretch of sustained excellence that's now cemented in baseball history. The thing that separates dynasties from good teams is the ability to sustain dominance over time, and the Dodgers have done exactly that. They've weathered injuries, roster changes, and the rise of new challengers, yet they've stayed at the top every single year. And let's talk about how they got here. The ownership group, led by Guggenheim, took over just over a decade ago. And during their first 12 seasons, they managed 1 title. Fast forward to now, and they've tripled that total in just 6 years. That's not by coincidence. It's the product of one of the best front offices in sports, a mix of sharp analytics, smart spending, and player development that keeps the pipeline full. Every time you think they might start slowing down, they bring in a new wave of talent, both young prospects and high-profile signings. The Dodgers aren't just buying wins. They're building a culture. You can feel it every time they step on the field. Other teams know exactly what's coming when they face Los Angeles in the postseason. Whether it's the Brewers, the Phillies, or anyone else, there's that collective sigh of, here we go again. The Dodgers have become that team, the one everyone measures themselves against. They've got the best ballpark atmosphere, a lineup stacked with MVPs, and pitching depth that can carry them through any rough patch. It's the golden era of Dodgers baseball, and if you're living through it, you're watching something special. Now, some fans and analysts still say, well, they need one more, maybe a third in a row to truly be a dynasty. But come on, how many teams in modern baseball can say they've done what the Dodgers have done? The Yankees' run at the start of the century is often seen as the last true dynasty, but what we're seeing in Los Angeles is right up there with it. When you compare it to the great eras, the big red machine of the 70s, the Yankees of the 50s, the Giants' run in the 2010s, the Dodgers have matched or surpassed almost every measure of dominance. And the difference is, their story isn't finished yet. Even in 2025, when many teams would have folded after a rough start, this group found a way to bounce back. They spent almost 3 months playing below their usual level, even dipping under .500 for a stretch, and they still ended up with 93 wins and another championship parade through downtown Los Angeles. That's what great teams do. They win even when they're not at their best. And the crazy part? That 2025 roster wasn't even their strongest version. There were injuries, there were lineup shifts, there were slumps, and they still came out on top. Imagine what happens when everything clicks again next year. Players like Shohei Ohtani have taken this team's potential to another level entirely. Since signing that record-breaking contract, he's already delivered 2 MVPs and 2 titles in 2 years. That's unheard of. He came in with all the hype in the world, and somehow he's lived up to every bit of it. He's transformed the Dodgers into a global brand, a team that transcends baseball. And when you combine his star power with Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and a new wave led by Yoshinobu Yamamoto, you realize how deep this team's talent really goes. The Dodgers don't just have stars. They have eras of stars overlapping each other. This front office has built something sustainable, not just for the next season, but for the next decade. You look at how they're managing contracts, developing young pitchers, and balancing veterans with up-and-comers, and it's easy to see why they're always at the forefront. Even their supposed aging core is performing at an elite level, and every offseason, they find a way to inject more youth and more firepower. It's not just about chasing trophies anymore. It's about setting a standard. And let's be honest, the rest of the league feels it. You can sense the envy, the frustration, even from rivals like the Giants or the Padres. San Francisco fans used to brag about their 3 titles in 5 years from the 2010s, but that started to sound like ancient history. The Dodgers have matched that number in just 6 years, and did something the Giants never could, winning back-to-back. And now, they've got the chance to make it 3 straight, something that hasn't been done in Major League Baseball since the early 2000s. But beyond the numbers, what makes this Dodgers era so special is how it's captured the imagination of fans. The parades, the celebrations, the star-studded rosters, it all feels like a blend of Hollywood energy and pure baseball tradition. Kids growing up today will tell their own kids one day that they watched Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman share the same lineup. They'll remember the nights at Dodger Stadium when the lights hit just right, when the crowd was electric, when winning didn't just feel possible, it felt inevitable. This is what happens when a franchise commits to excellence at every level. From ownership to scouting, from analytics to player relationships, everything about this team screams professionalism and ambition. And the best part? They're not satisfied. The players have said it themselves. They want a 3rd in a row. You could hear it in their voices during the championship parade. It wasn't just about celebrating the moment. It was about setting the tone for what's next. So when people ask if the Dodgers are a dynasty, the answer isn't just yes. It's absolutely, undeniably, without question. They've already entered that conversation among the greatest franchises of all time. And as long as they keep pushing, keep building, and keep that hunger alive, there's no telling where this run will end. Because this isn't just the golden age of Dodgers baseball. This might be the start of something even bigger. What makes this era of Dodgers baseball so fascinating is that even after stacking trophies and rewriting records, there's still this collective hunger that refuses to fade. You can see it in the way the players talk, the way they carry themselves, and even how the fan base expects nothing less than greatness every single year. It's not arrogance. It's the standard they've built. And it's that same mentality that keeps pushing this team forward. When you hear Shohei Ohtani step on stage and say he's ready to go get a 3rd one, that's not just talk. That's a message from one of the best athletes on the planet, reminding everyone that the job isn't done. The truth is, the Dodgers have spoiled their fans. Division titles have become routine, postseason berths are automatic, and deep playoff runs are almost assumed. That's what happens when a franchise invests properly in every area. The ownership doesn't just take, it reinvests. The money spent on tickets, merchandise, and the fan experience is reflected directly on the field in the form of talent, development, and results. Every dollar seems to circle back to improving the product. You pay to see stars, and they make sure you get stars. Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Yamamoto, all performing at an elite level. And the funny thing is this 2025 championship team wasn't perfect. In fact, for much of the season, they were far from it. They spent nearly 3 months hovering around mediocrity, their pitching staff inconsistent, the lineup dealing with injuries and slumps, and yet, when it mattered most, they flipped the switch. They came alive in October and turned what looked like a vulnerable year into yet another title run. That's the difference between a good team and a great one. Good teams win when everything goes right. Great teams win no matter what. The pitching depth, even with the ups and downs, remains the backbone of this franchise. The Dodgers know how to build rotations that last, and even when they lose pieces like Tony Gonsolin, they replace them seamlessly with arms ready to take the next step. The player development system in Los Angeles has quietly become the best in baseball. They don't just produce players, they produce stars who understand the Dodgers way. And that combination of internal growth and external acquisition is what keeps them ahead of everyone else. It's easy to forget that this dynasty was never meant to be easy. Salary caps may not officially exist in baseball, but luxury taxes and financial constraints have kept most franchises from sustaining dominance for this long. Yet somehow, the Dodgers continue to innovate. They've mastered the art of balancing big contracts with farm system efficiency. They know when to go all in, like they did for Ohtani, and when to hold back and trust their prospects. That's the genius of Andrew Friedman's approach. Calculated aggression backed by long-term vision. Fans from other cities may roll their eyes at the Dodgers payroll, but the truth is, money alone doesn't win championships. You need culture, chemistry, and execution. The Dodgers have all three. From the coaching staff to the clubhouse, everything runs like a machine, but not a cold one, a motivated one. You can see it when they celebrate together, when they pick each other up after a bad inning, and when they show up for every single game like it's their first. That consistency, that relentless drive, is why they're always one step ahead. Of course, rivals like the Giants can't stand it. For years, San Francisco fans clung to their 3 titles in 5 seasons as a badge of superiority. But times have changed. The Dodgers have matched that mark and gone one better with consecutive championships, something the Giants never accomplished during their own run. And now, as the Giants struggle just to make the postseason, the Dodgers are looking ahead to what could be history in the making. 3 straight championships, something no team has done in the modern era of baseball since the early 2000s Yankees. This is what dynasties look like. Not just one flash of brilliance, but sustained excellence that defines a generation. Every baseball fan alive right now is watching history unfold in Los Angeles, whether they like it or not. And what's remarkable is how much the Dodgers still have left in the tank. Their stars are aging gracefully, their young players are developing fast, and the front office has the flexibility to make big moves whenever necessary. It's almost unfair how well-structured this organization is. Even the skeptics who once doubted the legitimacy of the shortened 2020 championship are starting to change their tune. Winning again in 2024 and 2025 didn't just validate that title, it reinforced it. It proved that the Dodgers weren't a product of circumstance, but a product of excellence. Those who question them can no longer ignore what's in front of them, a team that's built to last. And that's the thing, this dynasty isn't winding down. It's entering its next chapter. The players know it, the fans know it, and the rest of the league knows it. The Dodgers have created an environment where expectations are sky high, yet somehow they keep meeting them. Every parade feels earned. Every win feels inevitable, and every setback just feels like a setup for another comeback. The Dodgers of today are not just a team. They're an identity. They represent consistency, discipline, and belief. When you see them take the field, there's a sense of control, a sense that they've already been there and done it because they have. And while other teams celebrate making the playoffs, the Dodgers measure success in rings. That's what true dynasties do. They redefine the standard so completely that success for everyone else looks small by comparison. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the baseball world, the Los Angeles Dodgers have reportedly secured the signature of VLADIMIR Guerrero Jr., igniting a flurry of speculation about the team's immediate offensive firepower. While the details of the deal remain under wraps, insiders suggest that the acquisition could be nothing short of transformative, potentially reshaping the Dodgers lineup for the remainder of the season. Guerrero Jr., widely regarded as one of the most electrifying hitters in the game, brings a combination of raw power and disciplined approach at the plate that few can match. Rumors are already swirling that his presence in the heart of the order could lift the Dodgers' scoring potential to unprecedented levels, creating nightmares for opposing pitchers and fundamentally altering the dynamics of the National League West. The chatter in baseball circles suggests that this move signals the Dodgers' intent not just to compete, but to dominate, as they look to bolster a roster already brimming with talent. Fans and pundits alike are buzzing over how Guerrero Jr. will mesh with established stars in Los Angeles. Questions abound. Will he slot into the cleanup spot immediately? How will his arrival affect the team's existing chemistry? And perhaps most tantalizingly, can his bat single-handedly carry the Dodgers through the playoffs? Social media has erupted with speculation, with hashtags and memes spreading like wildfire, reflecting both excitement and incredulity at the sudden turn of events. While official confirmation is still awaited, the whispers are enough to make headlines. Some sources hint that Guerrero Jr.'s impact could be felt almost instantly, potentially igniting a series of games where the Dodgers' offense becomes virtually unstoppable. Analysts are already crunching numbers and predicting that the team's slugging percentage could soar, altering projections and forcing rival teams to rethink their strategies. Whether it's a blockbuster trade or a bold free agent signing, the Dodgers' acquisition of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has captured the imagination of baseball fans everywhere. As the rumor mill continues to churn, one thing is clear. If Guerrero Jr. truly dons the Dodgers uniform, the team's offensive landscape, and perhaps the entire league, might never be the same again. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.